Chances are, if you're watching this right now, you know who made the deck I'm about to show you. It is a deck that leverages hidden information like none other. It uses cards that are not used in any other type of list, and it just does weird and wacky things every game. Any guesses on who it is? That's right, the player I am referring to is Butt Squad, a very legendary player. He's been around for a long time, has had some pretty good tournament success in Golden Gauntlets, has been at the top of ladder doing weird things with Galactus, with Zoo and M'Baku, and I mean, you name it, Butt's done it if it's an off-meta type deal. This deck is a Nightmare deck that leverages a bunch of new cards very well, such as the Punisher War Machine, such as Techno-Organic Virus, and such as even Ikari is a surprisingly very good fit here. But overall, what this deck seeks to do is play cards with big stats, use the Techno-Organic Virus as like a backup Nightmare, as a one-cost Enchantress for when you aren't Nightmaring and getting rid of these downside abilities. You're able to Techno-Organic Virus and get rid of them. You also have cards in here like Luna Snow or Punisher that are ramping you a little bit to allow you to play out 5 drops early and ahead of curve, to allow you to play extra Techno-Organic Viruses in your curve, to allow you to play double 3 drops. All the ramp is very important. And when all else fails, you have the War Machine to drop down that enables you to play things like your Ebony Maw late, your Ikari late, your Infinaut late. So even if it looks like a pile, you are doing very synergistic things, believe it or not. At the time of recording this, Butt does plan to go live on Twitch the night of, so that would be Friday night, so this would have already happened by the time this video goes live. So drop a comment and let me know if you were there while you watched him playing it, but if you weren't, go follow Butt on Twitch. He is one of the most entertaining streamers. He doesn't stream that often, but when he does, you want to be there, so I will have his link in the description below. But with all that said, let's jump into a card-by-card guide. First up is Techno-Organic Virus, which is becoming quite a virus on the marvelsnap metagame. You guys will all be familiar with this card and what it does. While other lists are looking to play things like Black Swan and Mobius to maximize the amount of Techno-Organic Viruses that they're playing out onto the board, this deck is very much quite the opposite. We're only really playing 1, maybe 2, very rarely 3 out onto the board. So the upside isn't so much giving our cards the extra stats, it is more removing their negative abilities is what we need. He's like a 0 that you could play after the fact, that you could play again, and he's just very good for that purpose. And here's a card that would be borderline unplayable without having its ability changed. Martyr in this deck is a Techno-Organic Virus target, is a Nightmare target, but what she also is a Punisher War Machine enabler. You play her out onto the Punisher War Machine marked location on either turn 1 or turn 3, you're very likely to win it there. She's also pretty good at contesting your opponent's Wilson Fisks. Say they miss their own Martyr or their own Lizard and they play out something like a Rhino, you have a Martyr down, they're not getting that discount, they can't get out and get ahead early. Similar stuff can be said for Ebony Maw, although he does kind of have a little bit more upside with the fact of us being a War Machine deck and we're able to just play him out regularly, don't have to worry about removing his ability or having him move to a location that will lose us the game. But this guy's also a great Nightmare target, and even a cheeky play you could do is play something down like a Martyr on turn 1, and then a turn 2 you play Ebony Maw TO Virus. That's really good. You get to remove both their downsides. You don't lose access to the location at all with the Ebony Maw. Do be wary of stuff like Killmonger, and though that might be on the rise as we head into the weekend, that's kind of what the forecasts are showing, so be wary when you suspect a deck might be running that card. Punisher War Machine is a really good fit into a Nightmare deck, similar to the last video I had come out, which was the Storm deck. He's really good when you have lists that play a lot of 1-drop stat sticks that are pretty large and that want to play a specific card on turn 3 and they want ramp in the following turn. So it's a very niche subgroup of decks, but this guy is the absolute GOAT for anything like that. This guy, Gen Kale, is a good replacement if you don't have him, so Not absolutely necessary, although he is better than Gen Kale. You do get to get more turns of that ramp, which is very impactful, especially when you're a TO deck. And this is what the list is built around. You are always wanting to nightmare away the bad effects on your cards, and you get some great, neutral, maybe even bad effects back. You don't even know. You're going to the lottery, you're rolling it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to leave way better than you came in, though. But the real upside of being a nightmare deck is it's all hidden information. It's so scary when you're an opponent facing down a deck like this. You don't know what they got off their nightmare. You have absolutely no clue. I know, not in this video gameplay footage, but just the other day I was experimenting with a similar deck. I hit a Enchantress as Black Panther into an Infinaut as Arnim Zola. How do you play around that? I couldn't tell you. So it leads to you having games where you're able to snap quite effectively. You get pretty high cube rates. I know I just went 5-3, up 14 cubes. I know Butt played 10 games around the time of me recording this. He's up 20 cubes. It's a pretty good list, especially when you're able to leverage and weaponize that hidden information fact. Luna Snow is kind of the fail state. Say you're not nightmaring, say you didn't see your Punisher War Machine, you need to start ramping to where you could play out your bad ability cards plus Techno-Organic Viruses to remove them and to have a functional game plan. She's also kind of nice to be 2 bodies herself for a Techno-Organic Virus target. And Debrii is doing the similar role, but on a bigger body. She puts more cards onto the board, although she does not ramp you. She's really good with Techno-Organic Virus, but what the secret is she's actually insane when nightmared. Same with the next card, Starbrand. This guy is insane when nightmared. He is very good when you play a Techno-Organic Virus down onto him, and he's extremely good at winning Punisher War Machine locations to start ramping, where you could retroactively remove his downside. The big 3 drops in this deck can end up being stuff like Captain Carter, like Cosmo, like Shadow King, like Brood. There's a ton of extremely impactful 3-cost cards, and that's kind of why you see a high concentration of them in this list. You see our nightmare targets are 2 3s, 1 4, 2 5s, and 1 6, and that's kind of by design. The 3s and 5s are really where it's at in terms of nightmare targeting. Our 1 4 is the new card Ikari. While Ikari is quite great here, I do think it's far from required. I think you could do something like a Call Obsidian to pretty similar upside, although the extra 2 power is quite nice, and the ability of Ikari is actually not much of a downside, even though in this list we have no way to afflict people. It's not what you would think. And that's because you can nightmare this, turn it into a different effect, or you can play down a War Machine and end up playing a ramp type list where your final turn is an Ikari plus a Debrii. Something like that. That's 20 points on the final turn of the game. That's quite good, especially when you could drop the Infinaut before that. Speaking of the Infinaut, this guy is one of our Infinaut enablers, one of our Ikari enablers, one of our Ebony Maw enablers. He pairs very well with the Luna Snow / Punisher War Machine ramp backup backbone that's built into the structure of the deck. And after you use his effect, you can Techno-Organic Virus him later to put additional stats onto his body. But like I mentioned when talking about Starbrand, the 5 drops are also quite good as nightmare targets. You can get stuff like Iron Men, like White Tigers, like Shou Lao, like Black Panthers. There's a bunch of really impactful lane-winning 5 drops. Even look at the stat sticks like Ronin, like Devil Dinosaur. All that is extremely good to have on a base 5/9. And it's even better to have on a base 5/14. Red Skull is just the biggest 5 drop in the game when it comes to base stats, and we are very able to get rid of his downside, having 2 ways with Nightmare and TO. A lot of stuff in this deck has 2 ways to mitigate it. You look at your Red Skull, your Starbrand, your Martyr, you have Techno-Organic Virus, you have Nightmare. You look at your Ikari, your Infinaut, your Ebony Maw, you have Nightmare or War Machine. So there's a lot of backups, there's a lot of overlap. You're not really stuck saying, oh no, I need this specific card for this specific purpose. You have multiple ways to handle a lot of these situations. And similar to Red Skull, Infinaut is the biggest 6-drop in the game on base stats. Like I talked about in my last ramp video, currently point stealing of the game is a little bit lower, and the Infinaut plus say a 3-drop is often just enough to contest, if not win, many of these lanes in Marvel Snap. This guy can be mitigated by Nightmare or by War Machine. You'd much rather Nightmare him every time of the day, especially if you're able to access some ramp, but you can get some pretty nasty stuff like a Magneto, like an Goliath, like a Blob, like an Arnim Zola. A ton of surprises that you can get, and you're going to really need to excel at piecing together these games on the fly as your draw enables and as your Nightmare enables. There is the full breakdown of this list. Like I said, I played about 7 games that I have on camera. We went up 14 cubes. We climbed a lot of SP, but I'd like to add a little section suggested by Kingpin in the comments of the last video where I talk a little bit just about the metagame positioning of an off-meta deck like this. What are your good matchups and what are your bad ones? I think to start, an obvious good matchup for you is anything trying to do Gambit spam. Although you can get outpointed by their absolute high rolls with the Sasquatch and Ascani and duplicating the Sasquatch again, that's kind of a rare play line for them to hit. And on the games where they're duplicating their Gambits, they think they're going to get you. They're going to blow up your Martyr. They're going to blow up your Debris or your Starbrand. You could actually just win off playing an Ikari with a changed ability, a Red Skull with a changed ability. Say you Techno-Organic Virus either of them, you could just win 2 lanes like that, especially if they're an Infinaut or if you get any high roll abilities, or if you leave stuff like your Ice Cube on the board for Gambit to target along with your Debris rocks. You could waste a lot of their hits. Looking at the other 2 sectors of the metagame, we have a little bit more poor matchups into the Ascani Surfer combo decks. Those decks will probably just beat us if they do the thing that they want to do, and if we don't get any sort of scams off of Nightmare. And finally, the Techno-Organic Virus decks that are running rampant will be able to compete with you on total point output, but what Nightmare allows this archetype to do is to out high roll them. They will not beat you when you're hitting stuff like Black Panther on your Red Skull, or when you're hitting some crazy stuff onto your Infinaut, and they have no way to know or play around that. So in those matchups, all the power is in your hands on whether you snap or retreat. Some additional off-meta decks that this is good into would be the ramp list that I mentioned previously. The lockdown ramp list that I last made a video on. People doing lockout stuff like Prof X or like Storm will have a hard time into you when you're doing just big bodies plus a War Machine, and you're able to play in these closed off locations that they're banking on holding down. Similarly, our other 5-drop Red Skull has very good utility into any Cerebro matchups. If you see any Cerebro decks, do be holding off on that Nightmare. Say you see a Sentinel on turn 2, don't Nightmare on turn 3. You want to wait and you want to use your Red Skull. If your Red Skull's in deck, go ahead, Nightmare by all means, but Red Skull is your best card in that matchup and you'll just auto win it every single time. So those are some decks that you could be pretty good predators on, but what you're doing generally is just being a mid-range deck with really solid point output and a lot of unpredictability. So like I mentioned earlier, do be sure to go give the Chef Butt Squad a follow over on Twitch. One of the GOAT Marvel Snap players. Also be sure to drop onto this video, be sure to drop a sub. It goes a long way in helping the channel and I really appreciate the support. So thank you for those who made it this far into the video. We're going to hop into some gameplay highlights where we have a bunch of crazy stuff go down. It's a lot of fun, so I'll see you over there. Until next time. Alright, what do we have going on in game number 1? We have an Agamotto deck and the Nexus. I feel like we are pretty good Nexus gamers, but will they have location change? Possibly. That I'm not sure. We're going to just hold our Techno-Organic Virus. We're probably going to play Starbrand. Ooh, opponent snapped. I think I'll stay. I'll go power for power, even though we have a terrible draw. Like this deck's curve is half low cards, over half low cards, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 expensive cards. We have 3 of the 4 already. Oh, it's Arsham. They probably have location change. We suppose that changes things. Let's see. Will Debrii? Maybe into a Starbrand Techno? Oh, that feels so bad. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I really just hope they don't rug pull me, but who knows. Watch Stark Industries, we're gonna lose it. Oh, never mind, we won by 1. I normally always lose a Stark Industries, which is really annoying. I think we're just gonna do Red Skull into Agamotto Techno. Oh, that's rips. We're gonna have less power than them, even with removing it. That's what happens when you don't get any of your ramp in a list built around your nightmare. It'll happen though. Going against Boss Baby. Is this Smalls? I think this is Smalls. All the way at rank 6? That's nuts. How are these guys doing it? They're gonna get the Punisher War Machine for free, because again, I didn't draw any of my low curve cards, which absolutely sucks, but at least we have Nightmare, which is kind of cool. I think this actually might be a mirror match. I'm recording this pretty close to when Butt shared it. I'm really not favored to win this match with the fact that he has ramp. I don't. Although we might get ramp here, and now we're doing Nightmare stuff, which is kind of just what we want. Look at this. We have Blink. We just get to blink our Nightmare into our War Machine. Just value. Let's see, what do we have? Revive your highest power destroyed card here with its power doubled. If your opponent discarded, cost 1 if your opponent discards a card. Infinaut's Magneto. Lunisnow's pretty bad. Martyr's pretty good. We're just gonna blink, and we're probably gonna seek to Magneto clog him. Probably left. Definitely left next turn. So we're actually not gonna get Mosh Pit scaling. That's fine though. Blink. We get our War Machine. And now we're going to play down the Infinaut, which will clog him early. Let's see, it's going to pull 8 power over. He's going to go up to 35. We're still going to need to put a little bit of points in there, but we're going to be able to do something like a Red Skull right and a Martyr left, which will be enough to flip the script. Martyr and Red Skull come down. We Magneto his Lunisnow over into the left. And normally, like, Martyr here would move and lose me the game, but very luckily we get to do this. And actually, we get to Techno-Organic Virus this lane, to where we get 2 more points than we otherwise would have had. This is just our highest value play, and I think that should win. It's going to be what? We're going to have 25, 27 in the right. We're going to be at 37 in the left. He's going to need a way to back buff that, but because I know it's an exact mirror match, we should be safe from that. Here's a Red Skull and a Starbrand. 24 is a lot, but it's going to be just a little bit not enough, especially when we get their Red Skull boost onto our cards, and we're going to walk away with the 4-cuber. Going against another friend, we have a game against Jace from State Farm, of course. Oh, unsure why he did that. Maybe he's playing a deck that really doesn't like the Sea Pit of Exile, but we'll move on to the next. Octodoctopus. I actually do not know who this is, but we get our Nightmare, which we do love to see in this deck, especially when we have stuff like Infinaut in hand, and when there's something like a Sinister London. I'm trying to think. I could rip a Organic Virus now, but then I'm just going to Nightmare it, and 2 different cards, and it's a bit weird. I guess we do it. There's not really a point not to. So does that count as 2 played? I actually don't know. Ongoing effects disabled anyways. I think we're just going to snap this, and actually not there. We're going to put it here. We're going to snap this. We get to play Ikari, Red Skull, Infinaut. Simple as that. And Sinister London, and we might deviate from that depending on what we draw or depending on what we get. Let's see, what do we get? Revive one of your destroyed cards and merge into it. We don't have anything destroyed, so we'll just play that out. We get Loki, and we get Deafening Chord. Not something I'm really interested in either of. Actually, that's really interesting, a thing for steps. Living Tribunal, not so much. Sandman's also very interesting. Ooh, Dragonlord, what's he pull? No! Dragonlord pulls a Loki for us. Very interesting. I think we'll Sandman middle. They're probably going to flip the Sinister London if I had to guess. Really unfortunate that we drew our Red Skull. Or the alternative is we War Machine now and try to force them. I just don't like the fact that they're able to remove the Sinister London. Oh, thank God they don't. Beautiful. There's a double Red Skull. which is just absolutely brutal. Danger Room locks it in even more. So now it's like, you even play. We're going to drop down 40 power here. Maybe even not. Let's see. Honestly, I think this is fine. Opponent left. We might have lost to like they move over a Nocturne and we play Infinaut down and we spread. We could have lost, maybe? It would have been 20s in all lanes. And we probably would have been fine. Probably would have been fine. But we'll take our 2-cuber. Alright, here we are playing against Butt, creator of the deck. So I can only assume it's going to be a mirror match. That's kind of funny that we played Smalls and Butt. Watch, we'll probably play Denish as well, who Butt also sent this list to. Too funny. Not really on a great draw here. Don't love to see really any of what we got. Chimichanga. Is that good in any type of way? Not really. We get Martyr. The play is just Debris, but the question is, do we want all the extra rocks? And I think we do. We probably want Chimichanga, Debris, and then play like a Martyr TO, and then a War Machine, and then something left. I'm kind of fine with that. Do something like this. We can still top deck one of our 3 drops, in which case we play 3 drop plus RTO Virus. Interesting. Chimichanga, so what's he playing? Like 1-1 TO? Exactly what he was playing. There's our Starbrand, beautiful. So we're probably gonna do Starbrand and TO into War Machine, and then maybe Ikari plus TO. That could be a very cool play. Let's see, turn 4. What can he do? He could do, no, he can't beat this. Changa, oh, Starbrand could beat it, yep. He can't beat this, and then he immediately beats it. I forgot about his Starbrand, so that's gonna give him some ramp. He's gonna be able to play a 6-drop, but he really only has the Infinaut, so still nothing super crazy that he's going to be doing. He also has to get rid of that Starbrand, or else we will win on that Sanctum. So we're going to play our War Machine down. Here comes Nightmare, but the Lord only knows what can be played after that. Alright, now we get to do maybe an Ikari into a TO. Looks like our best way of winning this. Does it actually win? Probably not, but I have no idea. Alternatively, we could play Ikari right, but I feel like it's kind of a coin flip here. Butt's obviously going to play something middle. Does he think we'll play something over here? If we do, we'll go to 25, and then we'll add 1, 2, 3. We'll go to 28. So does he play 11 power here while adding something middle? I don't know. Does he even play middle? Because if he TOs again, then that will buff middle and make him win. I'm really not sure. I think it's kind of a toss-up, so I'm going to go with the one that he less expects. That's the call that I'll make. We'll see if it's right. Punisher, it was absolutely just completely and utterly wrong. We would have won so hard. I guess we win either way. I was going to say, it's a lot closer this way than if we just played the Ikari middle. We'll take the 4-cube dub, though. Here we are against Bopper. Still haven't really seen our Punisher War Machine at all, which is kind of concerning. I should have maybe played out that TO now. Although I guess it doesn't really infect everything, so maybe not. We're going to do Luna Snow, and we're going to capture all this extra energy immediately in the White Hot Room. Oh, they go Luna Snow as well. Wonder what kind of deck this is. Interesting, we can't Ikari there, although I don't really want to. What do I actually want to do? I kind of filter out my hand to where Dragon Lord has better hits. Maybe something like this. That's 6 energy. I'm going to just have a crap ton of energy after this, and I could start doing my TO, get 2 lanes filled up with it. Oh, Man Spider, probably the Man Spider Galactus type deck, if I had to take a wild guess. We're going to do this and that. Not many points in the Man Spider lane, but we are filtering out our hand pretty well to be able to run up a Dragon Lord plus whatever we top deck. Well, that's absolutely terrifying. I think we don't have a singular answer to Zola or to Taskmaster. I think we just pretty much die to both. We get to do good points, but do it even matter? I'm just gonna hit the retreat later button because this is complete another cope otherwise. Oh my goodness, it's happened. We have a game where we have our Punisher War Machine. Crazy enough. Crazy to think about it. We're going against another fellow Pixel Alliance member. Unfortunately, this is just going to ruin any hope we have of winning the Punisher lane. Excuse me. They're just gonna drop a Vibranium over here. Here comes Starbrand. Ooh, we're just giving them Castle Blackstone ramp too. Oh, I really just hate it. But if we win, it's a tie. Oh my god, it's a tie and we're ramping them now. Don't do this to me. Alright, we're gonna blow up Nightmare, get the ramp. We're gonna TO this lane. We'll get our ramp one way or the other. Oh, so unfortunate. Let me make sure I ordered that right too, because I want to keep TO. So TO should be played last, which it is. Dang, they are just hard contesting middle. Interesting. Mockingbird, Namora. Oh, Namora is gonna flip the Altar of Death. What's War Machine turn into? Cards with 0 power switch sides. Oh, below 0 power. Sorry, it turns into a Nihilist. Vibranium will discount the Infinaut even more if I could play it. Although I guess it doesn't really matter. I think we're gonna do this. Capture the extra energy. Oops. I was gonna say hit the snap button. Why are they snapping? I wonder if I'm gonna get Megasonic. Is it ever worth it to Infinaut here and just say, I have, what, 35 points. I'll be going up an extra 3. I have 38 points. You're going down 4 with the Bob moving out to 19. You need to play an Infinaut worth of power there. I think this is fine. Oh wait, oh no, Vibranium is, no, I sold. Oh my god, it's so free. If I play Infinaut over here, then I could make it 25 points. Now I actually might lose this. Hang on. Oh, for 8? No, that's terrible. And I'm going up to 22. It's still winnable. I'm gonna cope it. Please don't. It's gonna be a Gilgamesh and he's gonna go super tall, isn't it? Please don't. Oh, dang it. I can't believe, what did our Vibranium even get? I can't believe I forgot to think about that. So crazy. Destroyed. Vibranium. Can I see its ability? When this card moves, it was a vulture. Interesting. Oh, Rhino, Patriot. I think we're fine. Oh, thank goodness. Super scary, but we still did an absolute ton of points and were able to lock it down with the dub.